got you motivated to reconfigure Eastwood or eliminate?
Well, I'll tell you what. I think it's related to so many things. It's related to traffic and safety and making our neighborhoods a safer place. I think the one thing that makes our whole entire city, and a growing one, safer and a better place to be is when neighbors know neighbors. And the Eastwood is a divider. I understand its original purpose was to get commuters to where they need to be, but what in fact happens is it divides us from our neighbors and our neighborhood, and it makes it a more dangerous place to be. So there are many, many ways and reasons to turn Eastwood into a park, but those are a couple of them.
So what are the specific issues that you mentioned affect neighborhood safety?
Well, this is a straight shot to another artery that circumvents our neighborhood businesses, and you can really pick up some speed on this road. We have people coming through at 2 o'clock in the morning on motorcycles doing wheelies because, hey, it's a fun place to do a wheelie at 2 o'clock in the morning. It's because it's such a free lane. I don't know exactly how long it is, but it's long enough to pick up some really hot speed. And so calming traffic would be one thing, but we want to eradicate the traffic and put it back where it belongs.
So is there any kind of strategy for taking advantage of the time we've got for this temporary reconstruction to mobilize?
Yeah, and this isn't even the beginning. Seeds have been planted a long while ago by the neighbors that you see here about the what ifs. This is an incredibly creative neighborhood, and we haven't hit on a plan that everyone likes yet. But if we continue to come around at gatherings like this and using our neighborhood blogs and neighborhood resources, our M&A, our neighborhood associations, etc., then we'll progress down the road that way.
Do you know any of the web addresses for the neighborhood association offhand, or should I just try to find them at some point?
Yeah, well...
Are there any resources you can just rattle off, I guess?
Rattle off? There's the East Eastwood Neighborhood Planning Council. It's known as the EINPC. The EINPC seeks to do one of the things that we want to do, and that is to unite the neighborhoods around common purposes and goals. And so that's one. So that's a very exciting one.
Is there a Yahoo group for Helena something or other?
There is. There's something called Helena Hood.
Helena Hood.
And I think that you have to request to be on it because it's a private little listserv for our neighborhood. But if you contact me, I'd be happy to.
And how do people contact you?
My email address is tjmc@tds.net.
Great.
And here's another really important thing to me. I believe that our city people and our civil servants that we've elected into positions, notably our Alder Marcia Rummel, and all of the council members, and including our Mayor Dave, are our allies, and they are people that we work together with. And I want to unite both our councils and our neighborhood businesses. We don't think it's an us and them thing at all. Our businesses and our councils, the people we work with in the entirety of our city are partners in the work. So that's how we approach it.
Have you got any feedback from our alder or the mayor or city staff about this? Or?
We're just getting started. You know, we're just neighbors doing what neighbors do, kind of visioning and dreaming. And we don't know the system yet, but we're trying. And we've probably missed a few loops, and we probably missed a few, avenues, and kind of probably went around it the wrong way. But we're trying, and we're trying to be involved and doing our best to be citizens of Madison, to make it a better place and a more beautiful and sustainable future for all of us. Right, but they stopped. I was going to and like I said, this thing is
I'm Megan Blakehorst, and I manage Absolutely Art on Atwood Avenue, and I've grown up in this neighborhood, and it's always just been a great neighborhood, and I can see that a park would be beneficial and bring more people into this neighborhood that might, not come in and enjoy this part of it.
So what kind of
walking traffic.
impact do you think changing Eastwood would have on your business?
I hope a positive impact. I would see because people would be out walking more. They would park their car. They'd enjoy the park. They'd be able to move around more freely and make it more a pedestrian area than it has been in the past. Its history has always been pedestrian traffic, and I think it would help bring that feel of the old neighborhood back. That it's already starting to get. We're right there. People are using the bike path more. They're walking more. Most of the neighborhood people walk anyway. They walk everywhere they're going. I think that it would only bring more of that sense and encourage people to be out and moving around amongst the businesses. So I can only see a positive impact.
Do you have any idea how your neighbors, fellow businesses along Atwood are thinking about this?
I think they have a similar feeling, at least from some of the people that I've talked to and some of the meetings that I've been at with people. I think that any way to get more walking traffic and get people to get out of their cars and move around the neighborhood is only going to be beneficial to us. Because once they realize how close it is to walk 1 block, they're going to be going from place to place on their way that they might not normally stop into. And we do, in the winter, we do a winter festival where there's 30 businesses open at night, and it allows people to walk to places they wouldn't go normally. And they're like, wow, it's December, I'm out, I'm walking from place to place, this is so fun. And it encourages and invigorates people when they're out moving around like that and gets them into places that they wouldn't normally go.
So, to that end, we would like to see a park established where this speedway is. Originally, the plan of the city was to completely reconstruct this just by tearing it completely up and redoing all of the underlayment and everything. Well, we fought hard against having this thing reestablished. We at least got to a compromise where they're not doing the reconstruct, because the reconstruct would have meant essentially keeping the status quo, the speedway status quo, for another 30 years. But by just doing a mere resurfacing and repair, that means we have 5 years. It will last for approximately 5 years. It's a lot cheaper of a solution, and it gives us time to develop neighborhood consensus that having a park here might be better for the neighborhood rather than having a speedway going through it. So, this is something of a compromise. Hopefully we can get our political leadership to understand that it is not in their constituents' best interest to have a gash running through the middle of our neighborhood. Thank you very much.
Many people on the inside have a legitimate concern that eventually that more people would drive through their neighborhoods and there would be more traffic through the neighborhoods, but it's been closed for 3-4 days now, and there's been nothing on the listserv about the additional traffic. And it's less capacity now than it would be if it was originally designed to have more traffic now. It's like one lane, it's a big chokehold, and no one has even noticed. I asked one person who was so concerned about it 3 days ago that no, she didn't even notice that. She didn't know, because she doesn't live over here, that the street was closed. And is the street closed or open? I don't know. Some people, there's no one saying anything. I mean, no one's noticed.
Yeah.
I'm not saying people wouldn't go that way, and I don't begrudge any. I understand their concern. The traffic pattern hasn't changed.
There it is.
As far as I know. It's similar to like the Gorham Street, where they want to make it 2 ways. It turns out it's not needed, and neither is this.
Yeah.
The whole capacity they really cling on to like a bug that breaks its spine and can't release.
Yeah.